Okie dokie. So I have finished all of the busy work that I have mentioned that I would do. It's a brand new day for me again. You know, I played a lot the other day. I played a lot in the last session, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go get some food and do this, and then maybe come back later. I didn't. I got some food, finished this, and then stopped playing. But, you know, that's okay. So I finished all this busy work. I picked up the rails, I picked up my tethers, and boy howdy, look at all the tethers we placed down. Oh my god, it's so many. It's so many tethers. Um, I also finished packing up our train, so it's ready to go to the other planet now, which I'm pretty sure it says... I guess we have to accept these missions first. Actually, it's... Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, let's... You know what? Let's accept this just to make sure. Yes, okay. We could just take this with us, of course. And this is the start of the next... Oh, that tracks the object. How do I untrack that? I guess I have to go... So, we already know which planet we have to go to next for the trains, and that's Calidor, and we haven't been to Calidor yet, so we get to see a new planet. And then, of course, we accept these once we go back to Silva here. So, yes, I've packed up the train, we're ready to leave. I also went and got some more iron so that I could finish this steel. And so we have a whole thing of steel now, which is incredible. A whole 33 nuggets worth of steel. Oh, man. That's going to last us for quite a while, so we won't need to return back here for a while either. But, you know, we know that the system works now, so that's cool. And we've barely used any of our argon that we put in here, so we're going to be good on argon for a very long time. And then also while I was out, I picked up some extra titanite here that we'll be bringing back with us. I just figured, you know, we might as well. We don't have a lot of titanium at on Silva, so. And then I also grabbed some extra packagers because we're going to be setting up trains on Calidor, and then once we're done with the train on Calidor, we're going to need to pack it up again. So having these packagers ready for when I need to pack up the train again is nice, so. Yeah, we are done on Glacio for a while. We won't need to be returning back here for a long time, I don't think, unless we need more iron, I guess, at some point. But but yeah, let's get the heck out of here, this frozen wasteland. At some point, I am obviously going to need to come back here though and do the like obelisk things. I will need to do those purple things. And when that happens, I might set up like a proper base on Glacio. Well, I mean, we kind of already have a proper base, but like I'll need to set up like a proper rail station for that too, I think. So, but yeah, let's get out of here. So I'm going to be making a pit stop at Silva first because there's some other things I need on Silva. For Calidor, like, I believe I need to make some solar panels, some medium solar panels for the Calidor missions, as well as some other various stuff I need to get prepared here. We don't have many slots left on our ship here, but hopefully we will have just enough space for everything we need. So let's go ahead and accept these missions while we're here. The scrap and the exochips. Yeah. I think we only need 2 exochips, but I might as well maybe try and sneak this in here anyway. We can destroy these power extenders, that'll save us a little bit of space. So, I don't know if it's very obvious or not, but I decided to mess around with my audio settings again. I started to edit my Astroneer stuff, and I realized that everything is like really quiet. So for you guys, like when you go to listen to it, you're probably gonna have to really boost up the sound. And that's like, you know, that's entirely on me. For not being like smarter with my audio, but you know. Anyways, my point is that I mucked around with audio, and so now things should sound different. Like I should be a little bit louder. The game should be a little bit louder. I'm a little nervous about it though, because as you guys know, I've had this notorious problem with peaking issues on my microphone, and that just comes from like me talking quietly, and then randomly, for whatever reason, I'll just like super force out a word, and it ends up coming out really, really loud. And you know, that's just going to come down to me trying to be a little bit more soft-spoken here, and trying not to be so excited when I say something and just peeking my microphone on accident. That'll just come with, like, practice, I suppose. So yeah, so first thing we're doing here is we're just recycling a bunch of junk. When we go to Calidor, I don't think I'm going to set up a proper base. I'm probably just going to have... well, I do need power, though, for the train. I don't... The mission requires you to have solar panels to begin with. Just checking to see if there's... Okay. But the 2 solar panels you make for Calidor is not enough. So... Copper and glass, okay. We need to grab this quartz. Wow, we finally ran out of this. Well, we might as well store the titanium. That way I can make room on the smelter here. Sorry, it's morning for me again, so my voice is probably a little bit groggy again. I just need 2 glass, so that should be enough. Yeah, you really don't need a lot of copper at all. I mean, unless you're doing solar panels, but... So, let me think. We need 2 solar panels, we need some exo chips, and we're gonna need some extra power. So, maybe I am gonna need another platform here. Oh, I am gonna need a landing pad, won't I? Aluminum and ceramic. Let's go ahead and make that. I'm gonna need probably a platform to put that extra power on. Large platform B. We're gonna need to make another canister. Actually, I think we have an extra one on our thing here. I should have used this for the titanium, but you don't actually need a lot of titanium in this. So, I didn't mean to do that. Give me the glass, please. Thank you. And make our solar panels. Okay, so we have our landing pad. We're gonna have our 2 solar panels. I want to make a large platform B, so let's use some resin. Let's not queue up well, yeah, whatever. Let's queue up centrifuge. do have some extra soil to put in here. We're only at 9 units of soil, wow. I guess technically 10, this counts as 1. But remember when I said that the soil centrifuge is very important? We've been using this thing lots. We haven't really gone out and mined any resin recently. If I wanted to save my soil, I could. I could go out and grab some resin. Like, I could make another canister and do that. But why do that? Why waste your time mining a bunch of resin when you could just make a whole bunch? Okay, and then as for my extra power for the base on Calidor, I can, like, probably fit one thing that I could bring with me. I guess technically 2 I could do. And this QTRTG is not going to be enough. So I think what I am going to do is I'm going to make this here an RTG, a regular RTG. So to make an RTG, ooh, we might not have enough bytes for it. Hold on, I'll have to make sure. We do have enough bytes. So to make a regular RTG here, we need a nanocarbon alloy, which we've made one before, and we need a lithium. Oops. And you can see I got some bytes back. This was when I was pulling up the tethers on Glacio. I grabbed the extra research samples because we were kind of low there. And good thing I did, because now we have enough to research this RTG. Give me 1 second. Ugh, morning voice, I tell you. So, yes, let's make this RTG. So we're going to need to make another one of these nanocarbon alloys. And as I've said, we've made one before. But it takes steel, which we already have a bunch of, so that's good. And it takes a titanium alloy and some helium. And luckily we have some helium left over. We can actually make more space on the back of our thing here if we take our steel off. It's just so nice to have steel at the ready here. Oh my gosh. Alright, so we need a titanium alloy as well, which takes nitrogen and graphene. Luckily we have some nitrogen here. Grab our graphite, because we're going to need that plus some hydrazine. Grab our titanium. Grab hydrazine. Put that back on there. Graphene. We're also going to need a lithium for when we make the RTG itself. And then titanium alloy. And then lastly, our nanocarbon alloy. So, I've mentioned RTGs before, like the regular ones. They essentially, like, you just open them up and you put them on your base. They take up 2 slots that are connected together. And as long as they're just out on your base somewhere and connected to power, they just permanently provide 4 U's of power, which we'll be able to see when I make it here. It permanently provides 4 U's of power to whatever system it's attached to. And you don't need to feed it anything, it doesn't need wind, it doesn't need sun. It just permanently provides that power. It says here, durable power source that requires no fuel management. Provides 4 U's of power. So, power is free. I mean, essentially. And I actually probably, okay, because trains, when you have a full train, like you have all 6 cars taken up, it's 9 use of power to run, so I might even make a second one of these. Print an RTG. I did. Why can't I accept the mission? There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to make a second one of these. And we got another QT RTG out of that, which is cool. As well as some medium batteries. Let's just put this on. Because you can never have... we're not going to have space. Well, maybe... Let's just put these up here, and then our second regular RTG can go here. And then, of course, we have some scrap as well. Oh yeah, I was going to trash this. So yeah, let's make another RTG so that we have 2. It'll provide 8 U's of power. It's still not enough to power the train, but with the solar panels and even some batteries, we should be fine. So let's grab another hydrazine. Let's grab another graphite. Let's grab another titanium. This is basically the only thing that titanium's used for, so that's why you don't really need very much of it. And a steel. Oh my god, I'm so grateful we set up the automatic steel. It's just so quick to just be like, alright, here's everything I need. And at some point we're going to be burning through that steel too, because I'm going to be making a ton of these large storage silos. That won't be for until I set up my real base. Once I set up my real base, I will need all that storage, so... Our Glacio investment coming in there. Yeah, so that's all we're really going to need for the Calidor base. We're just going to need the landing pad. We're going to need the... Oh, we're all full on scrap, are we? Well then, I should probably queue up some ammonium. The station, our train, some power, our landing pad, and that's about it. Although, now that I remember, I am going to probably need some dynamite as part of the mission as well. So we are, like, our rocket is full. It is full. That's okay. So we're basically ready to go to this Calidor thing. We have our 2 RTGs, right? 2 RTGs, our 2 solar panels, that's what I was waiting for. The ammonium. And then I could just... store all the ammonium away here for now. For now. And then... then flip this back over so it's not filling up the platform. Okay. And let's head over to Calidor. So, as I mentioned before, we haven't been to Calidor yet. It's a decently dangerous planet, I suppose. I mean, I suppose it is. But so far we've been to Silva, which is like our regular planet. We've been to the moon. We've been to like the flower planet. We're all like, it's full of plants and stuff. We've been to the ice planet. So what biomes are left? I mean, we've been to the hazardous gas planet. So now we get to go to Calidor, which is the desert planet. I don't like Calidor very much. There's no real point in coming here ever, except for specifically the mission and to do these stupid, like, obelisk things. Let's land here, I guess. I'm gonna try and set up our landing pad closer to the obelisk thing. Oh, that's kind of interesting. We landed by one of these over here. This thing is, I mean, it's not really useful to us, this place here. It's, if you look it up on the wiki, apparently the structure is called like a rover docking bay or whatever. But we can while we're here. Remember when we were on Atrox and we found that like little special platform and it had that data chip on it? This is where you get more data chips on the other planets, so we can grab that for the mission really quick. There's an extra solar panel there. But this is supposed to be like a vehicle docking station, right? You pull up your vehicle here. If you have power attached to this thing, you could plug in your vehicle and then it would restore power. But like, you know, if you're using vehicles, you probably already have a way to get you know, you don't need to charge your vehicle because you have like QTRTGs attached to them. I think while I'm here, I think I'm gonna dig up this ammonium. Just because you can never have too much ammonium, you know? I suppose, like if you do want more ammonium, Calidor is a good place for it too, right? Because DeSolo, the moon is only so big, and you could dig up all the ammonium on that realistically. But Calidor has tons of easy to spot ammonium all over the place too, so I suppose that's like one good thing out of this planet. If you really wanted to make a base on Calidor, you could get lots of ammonium here. Because as you can see, like, we barely walked at all, and there's ammonium there, there's ammonium here. But this is kind of the case for most of the planets, except for like maybe Glacio. You don't really have tons of ammonium all over the place. But even then, Glacio is such an easy to traverse planet that it kind of doesn't matter that ammonium's not super common on Glacio, because it's really easy to find it. But yeah, we might as well just fill up our ammonium here really quick anyway. Not that we're not doing too bad on hydrazine. I mean, we've already run through half of the... We only have 12 units left, but that's... The point is that you can never have too much ammonium. As I've stated before, this shit is basically gold. I mean, it does have a golden color to it. Just checking to make sure my backpack's not getting full. As I've said, you can never have too much ammonium, so we might as well fill this up while we're here. Since I'm not going to be on Calidor very much anyway, we might as well take the opportunity to dig this up. Because I probably won't be back here for a while. It's better than running out of ammonium and needing to go back to DeSolo again, I suppose. Save us a rocket trip. Man, this patch just keeps going, doesn't it? Not that I'm complaining. I think that's it, finally. Damn! Look at this cavern we dug out. Much better than the stuff you get on Silva, eh? And I could still go get 2 more nuggets worth. So I'm not going to entirely dig out this patch, obviously, but I am going to pick up this stuff that's here and try and fill out the container at least. Oh, unless it's like a little baby patch. Oh, man. Stop doing that. Jesus. Alright, let's see if I can squeeze out one more, maybe. Alright, perfect. Let's get back to doing what we were doing. Today, my drink of choice is a Coke Zero. Let's listen to this. Oh yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you can tell it's a new session. New drink in hand. First session was some fruit punch, Allen's fruit punch. Second session was good old-fashioned water, and this one, it's Coke Zero, baby. So let's get our ass over here. Looks like we'll have a nice landing spot here, I guess, if anything else. Which is nice. So, Calidor also has Wolfram as its kind of like special ore. Not that we need Wolfram anymore, we have all the Wolfram we could ever need from going to DeSolo. But if you wanted to come here instead of DeSolo to get Wolfram, you can. You just need to look for these mountain areas, and Wolfram will spawn, like, on the mountains. Let's see, I probably want to set up here. It's a little more flat over here, so let's do that. We need the landing pad. I was worried we'd forgotten it, but we didn't, thankfully. So let's just put the landing pad, maybe like, I don't know, like this maybe? Maybe I want it to be a little more flat like that. And there we go. So I think there's only like 2 more planets that we need landing pads on. Yeah, one on Novus and one on Aatrox. Oh yeah, I didn't put one on Aatrox. I'll have to do that. And doing this will get us 2 QTRTGs, which, you know, we will always take free power. So now let's grab this and put it somewhere. Remember that the rail kind of goes across like this, so... we will need to go underground at some point. This looks like a perfect, like, look at all this space to maybe... So let us perhaps set up the station like here, I guess. Or maybe up here would be a little better. No, let's put it down here. I'm thinking because, like, where I put the power is where I should be putting the base, so... just slap that bad boy down right there. Fancy music, wow, listen to it. So beautiful. So majestic. The Aubrey's butt certificate. Making an appearance. So beautiful, so majestic. So we need our solar panels. And our medium battery. So the reason why these are here, I mean, we probably only need one. But we're going to be installing solar panels onto this thing. So let's go ahead and complete the mission we just did. We get a QTRTG for that. Look at all the free power we're getting. Holy. I will not complain. So medium solar panel, and we need 2 exochips. So let's grab these. Put those on. The reason why Glacio had wind turbines and Calidor has solar panels is because Glacio has better wind than it does sun generation, and Calidor has better sun than it does wind generation. Probably evident by the biomes that they are, but... get some bytes for that. We will always take bytes. Use the data logs. Let's go here. Accept this. I'm not going to read any of this stuff. If you guys play on your own, you can read this. Or you could find a better YouTuber than I to read that for you. And we get some free rail posts out of that. And we get another rail engine. Connect a rail line to a site pylon. I'm going to ignore this because I can accept this while we're on Silva, and we already have all of these things, and I don't want to be taking up what little space I have on my ship right now. So let's just do this. Connect a rail line to a pylon. So Calidor, most of their pylons are underground, so we are going to have to go underground for that, obviously. So I guess let's get our small rail posts here, since we're going to be going underground immediately. And I think I'm going to just, like, scout ahead when it comes to going underground here. And just see if this does actually go down into caves. Because if this does, that'll be awesome. Oh, this looks promising as heck. We got really lucky with this. Usually you don't see gigantic open caverns like this going right to underground. That means we have to do very little digging. Thank God for that. It's like my least favorite thing about trains is digging up the ground so that the rails can go underneath the ground. But we got really lucky with some train gen here. Alright, let's keep going. I wish there was a way to place these from the backpack. Hold on, let me check the controls here. Backpack. Use. Tether. Creative controls. There is a creative mode in this game, by the way. You can either play the game survival like I'm doing, or you can, when you make a new world, you can select creative for it instead, and it'll allow you to do like Minecraft creative. You can fly, and you can create and delete items at will. Maybe if I... no... Man, I wish you could do the same thing as tethers, where there's just like a button to put down rails. It's so annoying that I have to keep doing this and then doing this. Okay, so when I place this rail, it's gonna dig out this ground here to make room for the train. But I think even this isn't enough. The train, like, cog wheels kind of stick out and go underneath the rail a tiny bit, so let's just make sure there's enough room that it doesn't get stuck. And the train will stop the terrain will stop the terrain. The ground will stop the train if it hits it, so. That's kind of funny. I just realized the train and terrain. It's so, I can't, it's fucked me up now. I'll just start calling it the ground instead of terrain. Man, this like, this goes way into the ground too. That's really good. We need to go deep into the ground on Calidor for one of the missions. So I'm glad that it's super easy to go down here. Let's keep an eye on our compass. So as you could tell, I pointed out before, like, so you could see that our ship, like our base, it's kind of like above our compass. You see like the dot and then it goes up. So that's how you could tell, like, okay, we're underground, our base is above ground. And the rail posts, like, we're in the caves region, we need to go down further into the caves to reach the same level as the rail posts. So that's how we know we have to keep going down here, which luckily we have a way down. I'm very thankful for this generation of ground here. Because, yeah, as I've stated, one of the missions will need to go way underground anyway. We need to go all the way down to the mantle region. Right now we're in the caves region. If we go low enough, we end up in the mantle region, which is closer to the core of the planet. And there's some items down there in the mantle region that we need to like dig up and bring back as part of the mission. So I need to find like that kind of angle, I think. Oh no. Please don't fall down the pit of doom. Oh jeez, I should have brought my jump jets with me. Oh well. So Calidor's plant life is not... I just kind of grabbed that from thin air. Calidor's hazards are not that bad. It's mostly just like dagger roots. There is Hisbane, and I believe there is Attactuses. Do you remember those things when we were on Aatrox? But I believe the Attactus on Calidor are fairly tame. Oh, look at that rail. That's way down in the ground. The Attactuses aren't like full power like on Aatrox. Not that it matters anyway. It's not like they're a difficult thing to deal with. I would like to go down. Alright, so now we should be on the same level as a couple of these rail stations. Wow, there are some that are really deep. So we need to go connect to one of those. Let us keep bringing the rail down, I guess. Yeah, whatever. We'll just use this scuffed setup I have here. we're gonna need to go back and grab more rails anyway. Stop picking up the cable plug and pick up the freaking. I'm clicking and the game's like, nah. You can point at the ground instead. So which rail do we want to connect to? Probably this one over here. It's like the closest one, so let's grab the last rail and make it go this way. Oh, we can hear there's a Hispane around here somewhere. I'll just ignore it for now. The other thing on Calidor is that it has lots of copper in the cave system, so there's the thing. So these things here are what we need to collect for one of the missions. We're going to need more than just these, though. I think we need 10 of them. But as I've established, copper's not really that big of a deal. We don't really use a lot of it. I mean, if you were like Mr. Super Solar Panels, then maybe. Oh man. These are not enough. We need way more than just 4. We need 10, I think. But yeah, if you're like Mr. Super Solar Panel, then maybe Calidor is a better place to go than De Solo for your Wolfram, I guess. But as I have shown, I am Mr. Generator. Dang. These shiny cube things, they're not supposed to be egregiously rare. They're kind of supposed to be all over the place, so I guess there's 5. I suppose if all else fails, you can keep looking for rail posts. Like, I guess there's probably going to be some over here then. But let's go back and grab our rails. Grab more of them. And probably I'll set up the train too, that way I don't have to keep running all the way there and back. There's a Hispane around here somewhere. It's either underground or behind a wall. We'll just ignore it for now. The Hispanes are at full power on Calidor. The Attactuses, I'm pretty sure, are only on the surface, so we should be, I think caving down here should be fine. We shouldn't have to run into any problems. I guess, whatever, let's just dig into the wall here. Let's go set up our train. Oh yeah, this is the other thing that Weeds. I guess this is new. We haven't seen this before. So if you get close to Weeds, they do that, and I'm pretty sure after a while they start producing gas. Weeds expands in size if approached and knocks back threats. So it kind of does the same thing that the boom balloons do, but instead of like entirely exploding, they just like, you know, damage you and knock you back and then go back to normal size. Let me see. I'm pretty sure these ones. Oh, look, there's ammonium right there. Yeah, these ones, if you regrow them, they don't become a blue version. That's kind of lucky. I just ammonium right there. Okay. Okay, let's set up our shit. Rail cars. Rail engine, that goes on first. Let's put it way up here. Yeah, like there. Attach these on. Grab our other rail cars. attach them on like this. Boom. And of course we need rail posts. Alright, let's get it. We aren't trained so fun. So yeah, if you didn't get lucky like I did when you come to Calidor and just have like a huge dugout cave ready for a train to go down, you'll have to dig your own way down, which is kind of unfortunate. But trust me, I know the pain. I've had to do it. It sucks. But maybe you'll get a little bit more fortunate than I did when it comes to those like artifact things. Oh, I shouldn't be. Hold on. Should make sure I'm taking from the same bundle here. Not that it matters, I guess, but. Hiya. Maybe we'll just dig out this dagger root here. That way we can just walk the easy way around. I guess we could do that, hey? Just so that we can complete the mission. Let's go ahead and call the car. Grab these artifacts to bring back with us. Like I said, we'll need to find 5 more, so we're gonna have to find another one of these stations, I guess. We might even need more than that. We might need 20. I can't remember if this is like supposed to be the same as the Argon or not. These things you can also bring back to like a research station and research them. Not that you would. I'm pretty sure the Argon cubes are better on Glacio, so you'd want to just save these for the mission anyway. Alright, let's go back. Just to see what our mission's here and accept that rail post mission so that I can delete the rails that I have down there. Looks like we had 6 actually. I thought we only had 5. It went from 4 to 5 to 6. Wow, lucky me. I still have to look for more of them though. Okay. Connect. Okay, that's the one I wanted. We do only need 10. Okay, thank God for that. Okay, find and explode an obelisk. That's what we need the dynamite for, and that's what we need to go down to the mantle layer for. So let's grab our dynamite as well. Let's head back down. So I think we are going to have to still end up digging a tunnel deeper into the ground here anyway. So you still kind of get to see, I guess, how I tackle that problem. Let's go ahead and recollect our stuff. I'm not sure if these artifacts respawn on these like weird pillar things. There's a non-zero chance that they will, but I wouldn't bet money on it. So I think I've decided that this way is the way to go, because there is a... right there. There it is. So like this way, kind of. More rail posts. that. Because wherever these... Oh, is that... That's actually above the ground, isn't it? Oh, crap. Oh, no. Wherever these rail post things are, is where these artifacts should be. Oh, man. Frick. No. No. Alright, you know what? I think I need to dig underground anyway, so I might go down some and see if there's... Those artifact cubes, I'm not sure if they're supposed to be at the mantle layer. The last time I was down there, I don't remember seeing any. But we can always try. Since we need to go down anyways, it doesn't hurt to give it a try. So, I guess maybe... Sorry, give me 1 second. I don't know what's wrong with my throat today. Causing me a lot of issues. And my nose is runny. Dude, what the heck? Am I getting sick or some shit? I don't want to get sick. Yeah. I think... Okay, let's try and make use of this, this hole here. Let me... Man, sorry. Give me 1 more second. Apparently today is just not my day for recording. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, I'm gonna try and make use of this hole here, I think, so... Well, let's not fall to our death here, how about... It's pretty bad to die at this point, because we're not using tethers anymore. If we die, we lose everything that's on our backpack, and that includes our oxygenator. And so, if we die and respawn, we will have nothing. And in order to get our oxygenator back, we will need to go back to where we died at. And to get back to where we died, we would need an oxygenator, so... It's pretty bad to die at this point, because it would mean that we would need to either go grab tethers again, or we would need to get and build another oxygenator, and that's not ideal, because you don't need 2 personal oxygenators, right? Wow, this cave really kind of opens up down here, doesn't it? Let's keep just building our way down. Until we hit the floor here. You can hear wind. Oh, good, there's some right there. The wind whistling. So creepy. When I first bought this game, way long ago, many years ago, in another lifetime, I used to be really scared to go caving in this game. Because I didn't know. Like, I didn't know what the hazards were like. I didn't know, like, if there was some scary monster out to get us. You know. And this game is creepy. It gets really dark in these caves, and it's I guess it's mostly just the sense of isolation, right? That's the part that's really scary. Because you're all alone, you don't know what could be out there. The fear of the unknown, I suppose. God, that Hisbane is kind of pissing me off. But I'm not going to go look for it, so I don't care. But But yeah, this game used to scare me. I used to be scared to go down. Like, the deeper I went, the more paranoid I would get. But now that I'm older and I know better and I'm not such a wimp when it comes to horror, this game isn't scare me anymore. I mean, not that this is supposed to be a scary game, but I hope you guys can understand how someone could get scared playing this game. No, I want you to curl in. So yeah, this is kind of the idea that you'll have to do. You have to do a lot of digging and make a lot of space for these rails. Okay. We've made it down another layer. We're still not at the mantle layer, by the way. The mantle layer on these planets are really deep in the ground, like really deep. Yeah, and you could do some crazy stuff with the rails. Like that. Not that I recommend, it should be more like this. That way we're not eating alive our platform we built here. So it looks like we have enough cubes there, and then I guess if I want to dig down deeper, I could... Oh, I guess there's a way down over here. If we go down there, that should be the mantle layer down there. So let's call the train over. Looks like just 4, just enough. Thank God. Oh, never mind, there's more. Okay. Get these placed on, and then let's go all the way back. And then, of course, once we're done here and gathering all the stuff we need, I'm just gonna, you know, pick up all these rails again. So all this work for nothing. Not that it matters. Most of Calidor's value is obviously on the surface, where all the ammonium is. So I think from now on, whenever I need ammonium, I might just come back to Calidor instead of DeSolo. Just because, like, look at this. Our landing pad is right here. We have ammonium there. We have ammonium here. On DeSolo, we'll have to go look around, so... And now we go all the way back down. And so, for the obelisk mission... I'll have to get off the train. Give me a second. For this obelisk mission, find and explode an obelisk. You need to blow them up with dynamite, so that's why we have dynamite on us. If you're following along. Before you go too deep into the ground, make sure you have dynamite on you. And we need 10 of these shards. So when you blow up an obelisk, I'll show you what they look like. When you blow them up, you get 1, 2, 3. And you need 10 of them. So you'll need like 5 obelisks. If you're unlucky, some more, I guess. But you'll need around 5 obelisks to blow up to get all 10 shards you need. Luckily, you can pick up the obelisks and like put them near each other, so you could only potentially end up needing 1 total dynamite. But just to be safe, I have 2. Try not to give such an egregious angle on that. Let's make use of this pit of hell, I suppose. There's another Hisbane plant, of course. Behind some walls, no doubt. The gas clouds that the Hisbanes spit out, they can't travel through, like, walls, so... Wow, we go down even deeper here, and we're still not at the mantle layer. Oh, that means the Hisbane's, like, right there. Gotta be careful. Those are full power, so we don't want to be taking damage at all from them if we can help it. This is scuffed. It's okay, I can make the platform thicker. Can make it thicker with 2 C's. And there we go. We're down to the next layer of the caves. We're not even at the mantle region yet. Jesus. Alright, it looks like there's not gonna be another fancy way for us to get down again. Looks like this is kinda it, so we will have to do some digging again. A research station, wow. Apparently that's a hole there. Well, I guess let's just keep digging down then, I guess. Oh, unless there's... I guess maybe not. So let's, I guess like right here. Flatten out the ground. Dig up the space above it. Flatten out the ground. Dig out the space above it. That's how I dig out my rails when I go underground. And eventually here, if we keep going, we will find a big-ass cavern with a bunch of shit at the bottom. Once we hit this, like, huge cavern, I mean, we've already been through a couple, but you'll kind of know, it's a little bit obvious. When I say huge-ass cavern, I mean it's huge. We might have hit it already, maybe. I hope we hit it. Let's see. Are we still not at the mantle layer? I don't remember Calidor being this bad. This could be it though, we'll see. No, it's not. This still isn't deep enough? Dude. So I guess the next cavern after this one. Oh my gosh, we've been through like 3 of these things, bro. Can we just hit the mantle layer already? As you're digging down, by the way, every now and then, you want to change the angle that you're going at. So you can see right here, like we were going at this steep angle, and then I sort of angled it down a little bit more here. The reason why is because the planets, they're spherical, obviously, and the leveling tool, it doesn't curve with the planet. It stays at the same level forever. So if you want to get deeper into the planet, you have to keep curving your platform downward. As you can see here, I curled it down a little bit again. Because if you don't curve your platform downward, you'll end up just like slicing through the sphere. If you have taken calculus, you'll end up doing like a sequent cut through the planet. And we don't want that, so you end up making this like spirally downward platform to hit deeper into the planet. A secant cut. I have to make sure I'm using the right terminology or else I can't flex that I'm a math nerd. So I think another way that you can tell that you're getting close to the mantle layer is that the terrain starts getting tougher to dig through. We have our drill mod 3, so the tough terrain doesn't, like, we can't really tell all that much. But you can kind of tell because, like, the lines in the dirt and stuff like that. So I think here I'm going to want to angle it downward again, just to make sure that we keep going towards the center. And as you get closer and closer to the center of the planet, you're going to need to keep angling your path downward more and more. It ends up making like a spiral sort of pattern. So the closer you are to the center of the planet, the more that your spiral needs like a tighter angle. Oh my gosh, I don't remember it being this bad. On the last time I've been here, like, I had to dig my way down from the surface down to the mantle, and I promise you it did not take this long. And I started at the surface. So I don't know what's going on here. Oh, what's that there? You see that weird symbol? I wonder what that is. Well, it seems like we might be getting close if we were to judge these docking stations. Oh, we might have finally hit the cavern. Holy crap. Jeez, that took forever. I hope. I hope we did. We could have maybe ended up coming down through like a wall or something. There. Okay, we've made it. Oh my god, that took so long. Yeah, it should say mantle, right? Region mantle. Pop up, please. Well, we are at the mantle. The reason why I know we're at the mantle is because these obelisks, they can only spawn on the mantle layer. So these are what we're looking for the mission. These are what we need to blow up. Okay, so that's what that triangle symbol is. It's these obelisk things. The mystery continues. I've discovered these obelisks are giving off a strange signal. As if they're trying to send a message. It's not in a binary form and thus undecipherable at the moment, but I'm positive I'll be able to translate the message in time. Dr. Stone! Isn't that an anime? Dr. Stone. So we're gonna look for 5 of these and blow them up. They're usually dotted kind of all over the place. But if not, we'll have to go on a mission and look for them. But I have to go all the way back and grab the rails first. Man, that was a lot of digging. So yeah, if you get really unlucky, I suppose, like, from the surface all the way down, you'll have to end up digging. But that's just kind of how it goes. And at some point, you're going to need to do it on every single planet anyway. Which I know. Trust me, I know. So you just kind of have to get used to doing that. Okay. You have to get really quick with it. Or else that thing's gonna just roll all the way down to the bottom. It already wants to dock with that station. Oh no. It took all of the the copper and threw it over there. Oh, this is not what I want. I need to dig this up now. Crap. Oh no, I'm digging up fucking copper. I don't want copper. It just, yeah. Just do that. I have to dig more of this out. It never ends. Damn it. Didn't want to do that. Lol. It just eats up the terrain. I'm like barely gonna have enough rails for this, dude. I don't think you need to dig up that high of a ceiling, but I'm going to anyway, just because I don't like being claustrophobic. Alright. Let's grab another post. And just like that, we've hit the bottom. Luckily for us, it's a lot harder to place the rails than it is to pick them up, so we are getting the hard part done with. Yeah, I guess, whatever. Alright. Let's call the train down. Now let's, I guess we have to go find 5 of these. There's ammonium down here. That's kinda... I thought they only spawn on the surface. I mean, not that I'm complaining, don't get me wrong. I'm all for some more ammonium. There's our train. So we need to find 2 more of those obelisks. They shouldn't be too rare. If anything, these, like, you just go to where these rail posts are, of course, like always. I'm gonna start making these dictives. And just go looking. Oh yeah, there's some right there. So we'll grab 5, pop them open with a dynamite. If it doesn't give us all 10 obelisk shards that we need, then we can go search for a couple more, I guess. sure that... And luckily you can carry these, so... whatever, I'll carry that the rest of the way later. Which way was I going? Was I going this way? Was I gonna go this way? Oh, is that another one right there? Maybe? Or is that maybe a cube? No, it's an obelisk. Good. We're done looking. And hopefully that's it. I suppose what I could do maybe is I could show you what the center of a planet looks like while we're down here. I could do that. The question is, am I going to do that? I don't know if I want to save it for Silva, maybe. Because if I'm going to the center of the planet, I want to have a bunch of storage on me. Like, I'm talking a train's worth of storage. And I suppose I could just take the train all the way to the center of this planet. But I'm not going to do that. So, we finally get to see what dynamite does. Oh, actually, no, I've already shown you what it does because we blew up that exocrate. So let's just detonate this. Boom. And so here we go. These obelisk shards, they have weird gravity to them, don't they? So we need 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like we have 10. Good. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. And then the obelisks themselves have clay, I guess. Wow, we got way more than 10. The wiki says that you get 1 to 3. It seems like it's more along the lines of 2 to 4. So. Alright, so I guess we have to go all the way back now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait until later to show you what the center of a planet looks like. Because like I said, I want storage, because there's a special resource you can get from the center of planets. And there's no real reason to go to the center of this one right now, otherwise. So let's go back. I almost want to leave the rails on this planet, I'll be honest, because we will need to go to the center of this one eventually anyway, so maybe I won't pick up the rails this time. That way it could save me a little bit of headache later. And we're back. So we can wait for this mission to finish here. Throw this on here. We only ended up needing 1 dynamite, so... And I guess, oh, we don't really need batteries anymore either, so I could take 1. They belong in a museum. So let's see. We get some exochips for that too. Let's use the logbook. Coal. We get more bundles. I'm not going to accept that either then. Exochip provided to logistics spot on Glacier or logistics on Calidor. Aluminum alloy provided to Glacier or Calidor. Tungsten carbide and copper. So we will need to go to Silva and come back. I need to put an exochip on here. We'll need tungsten carbide, copper, and aluminum alloy. And I believe I should be able to pack up this train now. So let's do that. This is what I got the extra packers from Glacio for. This will also free up some space on our rocket too, which is good because I'll need to be able to carry these RTGs out of here. I'm going to leave this partially used rail post bundle here because I would rather not have partially used rail posts on me all the time. We also don't necessarily need to come back to specifically Calidor here. We could also go to Glacio to do this next mission, but I'm going to probably come back here anyway because I think I'm going to use all of my ammonium on Silva and make more hydrazine, and then when I come back here I can dig up more of this ammonium and stuff. So let's grab our RTGs. These are really, like, they're the most expensive item in the game, the RTGs, and they're, even though it's only 4 use of power, they're really useful, so you might as well just take them with you. Because we don't need power on Calidor anymore, really. But I think I will leave a battery, just because. Okay. Yeah, and then once we get back to Silva, I can accept all this stuff and grab all the goodies off of here. Although I can accept that for the bytes. Alright. To Silva we go. Yeah, I think it's smart to leave the rails there. Because if not, then eventually I need to come back to the planet and dig to the center of the planet, and I'll have to dig up all that, or I'll need to replace all the rails anyway, so. I think that's fine. Because, I mean, it's not like rails are expensive anyway. We're going to get a bunch for these missions, and you can always just make more with aluminum and, what is it, aluminum and resin for the rails. So it's super, super easy to make more. Alright, let's clear up our shit. I think we can drop these off now too. Put these in storage, because we won't need them on other planets. For now, anyway. All these tall rail posts that I can use now. Okay. I can probably drop these train pieces off too. I just don't really have a place to store them. I think I will make one of those. I can put all my train stuff on this big boy. Okay. The ammonium, yes, I was going to turn that into hydrazine. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to at some point make another chemistry lab that's just dedicated to making hydrazine. I need hydrogen. I guess it's already on there, isn't it? So let's grab our condenser here, make some hydrogen. And I should grab this and put it on the thing too. Yeah. Whatever, we'll just put these here for now so that they don't fall through the floor. Let's grab our battery. Eventually we will want to make a large battery for our main base too, but I'm not going to do that until we move everything, which should be soon, by the way. Should be soon. We're working towards it here. Once I finish this mission here, I think. This mission, I think one more, we will unlock the rail station without having to research it. And then I can finally work on maybe moving the base. Oh, my butt. Hopefully we get some wind soon, or some sun. Or both. Okay, man, we can also accept this. That's a lot of scrap, holy. Not that I'm complaining, it basically translates to directly ammonium. It's like the best way to get ammonium without having to go mining it is through the trade platform. Ooh, I can put soil away too. Okay, let's go do that really quick. A big platform. That's number 3. So, I think, yeah, I can fit on a 4 slot. We're gonna need a lot of packagers once I'm ready to move the base. I'm realizing that's okay. That's basically what graphite's used for, is just packaging stuff. I don't need to connect power to that one either. I don't need power to this platform either. I just wanted a platform to put all my rail car stuff, because we're going to get a couple more here. And so one train, including the engine, can be 6 cars long. So we're about to have more than 6 cars because of the quest rewards. But that is okay, because on Silva specifically, I'm going to end up eventually having multiple trains going. And, you know, I'm going to need more cars for that eventually. One of these missions here, I think the next mission we complete, is going to give us something called coal, which is it's the same thing as a rail engine. It just has a special name. Okay, some bundles, an engine. I will happily take extra bundles, and then of course another engine. So now we have 2 engines to make 2 trains. We're going to need to make more cars, but that's fine. And we're going to have coal here soon. That'll be 3 engines essentially. But happy to get more rail posts. Alright, and lastly, exochips, which I can accept here. We won't need them on other planets anymore. We are going to need these exochips soon, though, for once we start setting up trains on Silva here. Just sorting my inventory really quick. Make sure everything's nice and organized so I know where it all is. Alright, and the RTGs, I'm probably just going to leave on the rocket for now. I suppose maybe to help with this, I could maybe take one off. I should probably leave that and grab a full. Once that one's done, I think I'll have enough hydrogen. We will have 15 extra units on top of this as well, so. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for this to finish. I think I'm gonna mute myself here We're gonna wait for this to finish. We're gonna go back to Calidor. We're gonna, obviously, we're gonna need to take a copper, a tungsten thing, and an aluminum thing. So I'm gonna make these materials. I'm gonna wait for this to finish. We're gonna go back to Calidor. We're gonna mine up some more ammonium, and we're gonna complete that mission. And then I think that's how long I'm gonna be muted for. You guys just get to enjoy the game, I suppose. That that ammonium spot, holy crap. That basically filled up an entire container on its own, and there's still tons left there. That's crazy. But that means, you know, there's more for me to grab next time I get low on ammonium. I even got like a bunch extra on my backpack too. That was an awesome spot. Okay, so now we've completed these missions. Let's accept the coal, which is just, it's basically another engine, but it's like, I haven't used this before. I don't know what it does, but I know it's kind of just like another engine card that looks a little different. But maybe we'll set that up eventually. And now we have this strange object. And for that one, we need to place it on... place it on Silva, so that's how we know we've made it full circle. So, where do we want to put this? Maybe we'll want to put it like here. Would be a good idea, I think. Where's... It's that way? No, maybe it's better we put the station over here and face it this way then. Because this is basically going to be our rail station for this base here. It's going to be our connecting piece. I should probably give a little bit of space though. Like here would probably be better. Well, maybe not. The reason being is because I want to make like a loop. I suppose I could dig these up. These don't need to be here anymore, since I have some over here. Although, I will need... I know for sure I need the Hisbane seeds for something eventually. I don't know how many I need, I just know I need a couple. So, let me... Ideally, this tree wouldn't be here. Let's flatten out this spot like this. Oh, there's more ammonium here I left behind. Teehee. Alright. The reason why I want to leave a little bit of space for this is because... Oh, crap. This bush here. I want to make a loop with the rails. And so, like, it'll be like a loop. It'll kind of go out here, I suppose. Let me fill up this canister with soil again. There's even more ammonium? Damn, I didn't think that this ore vein went that deep. Oh, that was an accident. Oh well. There's more! It just never ends. Well, at least I know there's some down there. I'll leave that one exposed and maybe fuck around, try and grab that later. Alright. Place this down so it stops making sound. I think that's a good spot, if any. Ooh, what was that? Did you see that? My game, like, blinked at me. I need more soil, apparently. Here we go. If you ever need lots of organic, just go to a forest and start digging up the ground. It'll fill your backpack instantly. Okay, so we've placed that thing down. We can grab... Oh, we get a free entire RTG for that. Just one full free RTG. That's crazy. What else here? Day and night. A medium wind turbine and a medium solar panel. And then I also need 3 exochips. So we're gonna need to unlock... I mean, I guess I could go back to Glacio and pick up... and Calidor and pick these up, but I might as well just... where is it? Generator. Solar panel, I need copper and glass. I need a smelt. And turbine, I need aluminum and ceramic. Actually, do I still have some on here? I do. Grab the glass. Guess we'll wait. Oh, my spine. My spine hurts. I was doing some work last weekend, which was like 5 days ago. And I thought I was fine, like I felt fine afterwards, and then the next day, like my back and my hamstrings were just super fucking sore. And I was like, okay, you know, at the time maybe I felt loose because of all the work I was doing, and like I didn't notice that I was going to be in pain. And so the next day I was in pain. I was like, all right, this is fine. This is to be expected. And then like after, you know, a couple days went by and my back and hamstrings were still super sore. Like after 2 days, it was still so bad. And I was like, what the heck's going on here? And then just randomly while I'm brushing my teeth, I pull my back while it's still sore. And it's been a couple days since then, and my back is still super sore. And I don't know why I deserve this, man. Ugh. Alright, so this is what we've been looking for this whole time. This schematic right here for the rail station. We get 2 rail cars out of this too. And we get a free rail station as well. So could I have gone here and unlocked this for 2,500 bytes for free and have not fucked with all this other stuff? Yes, I could have. But it is important to do these missions, especially if you're brand new, because it gets you used to using trains. So far we've been doing them very basic trains. Like this is basic way to use trains is you just connect from point A to point B and you just drive the train back and forth and you pick up items. You can use trains to automate stuff. You don't need to manually drive the trains. You can make them automatically go using this here. Or no, not here. I guess you would need an actual train station. But there's like if you have the actual rail station set up, there's a logistics spot where you can have like commands for the train to follow. You can also make use of these switches that we've made a couple of earlier. Like using these storage sensors and stuff, using these repeaters. You can make use of them to help automate the trains too. We will get to that eventually, but for now, we're still kind of following the mission. But it is still good to do these missions because not only do you get a ton of rewards for trains, you know, it also teaches you some valuable stuff about trains. I don't have storage for these fucking trains. We'll just have to bum off of this platform for now. So, our next thing, I guess, is transport Astronium to the logistics depot and transport mushrooms. So, Astronium is a resource we haven't run into yet. It's the only one we haven't run into, I'm pretty sure. And these shrooms as well. If you open your Astropedia, Astronium is right here. It's found on all planets at the core. So remember on Calidor how I said that I was contemplating going to the center of the planet to show you like a new resource? That's what I'm talking about. If you go to the very center of the planet, you end up in the core region, and in the core region, Astronium will spawn. It's kind of rare still. Like, you're not going to get lots. It's what you want your extractor for, your auto extractor. You do not want to be digging up Astronium if you can help it, because you get more of the Astronium if you use auto extractors with them. And yeah, so we're not going to be worrying about Astronium at this very second. We're also probably not going to be worrying about these mushrooms either. These mushrooms spawn on the mantle layer of Silva. Like, you know, Calidor has those obelisks, Silva has these mushrooms, and the mushrooms are also interesting too, because if you blow them up with dynamite, you also get Astronium from them as well, but we're not going to be doing that. I think maybe it might be time to blow up this thing. I'm tired of seeing that icon. We have tons of dynamite, we might as well just say fuck it and blow it up. I don't want to see this icon anymore. So let's just... And we're going to obviously have this nearby, and we'll see if this gets blown up too. It did not. Oh well. You have to use 1 dynamite per piece of this. That's so annoying. But more stuff to scrap. We're never using small shuttles ever again, by the way, so yeah, I'm going to blow that up. And get absolutely minuscule amounts of scrap out of that, too. Okay, so I guess what we should do is I plan on moving my setup over to this beacon. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start setting up the rails. Rail post. Right, I want to have rail post... like small ones right away here. But I need a junction as well. So I want to make a loop. And I want to use a rail junction here as well. Ground's not even here. That should be fine. You don't really necessarily need to be as meticulous as this. And then of course I want to extend this out, I think. Like this, that way we have room for the train. Yeah, like that, I guess. And do the same over here. You can put this one all the way out. Okay. And then immediately I want to transition into using tall rail posts, so... maybe, let's see. I'm trying to think how I want to do the logistics of this. So let's grab our tall rail posts. Let's grab an engine. Let's put it on... put it on here. Yeah. And I know I've been talking about these power extenders since forever, and I haven't been able to show you guys because I haven't had a use for them quite yet. But this is exactly what power extenders are meant to be used for. You place them down, they're just like a little nub like this, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to connect cables like that, and it helps you sort of like drag out, you know, your power long distance. And so what this is going to allow me to do is this is going to allow me to power this whole rail system with power. So I can use the power that I generate from my base to power the rail, and of course, as long as the rail engine is attached to a rail, it gets power as well. And right now you can see that there's arrows happening, so what this means is that the power that's generated from the base can only travel in the direction of the arrows. So you know how we have like a wind turbine and a solar panel on the logistics depot here? So if these are generating power and they're not being used, the power cannot go to our base through this line. It can only go from our base to the rail at the moment. However, you can change that by hovering over the power extender and clicking toggle, and it'll change it to a regular cable. But by toggling stuff like this is how you can direct power to only go in one direction if for whatever reason you want to like isolate systems. But for now, I'm just going to leave it open like that. So now we're going to get full power to the rail system without needing to rely on just the solar and the wind turbine here. And so that's what power extenders are for. And we are going to need them too because all these nubs on the rail posts have power cables to it. So you can detach from your rail and get power out of it. The power travels along rails, so rails are perfect for long distance power traveling. Like, it's even better than power extenders. But you can combine extenders with rails in order to make offshoots, which we are going to be doing once we start moving our base over. So let's get a rail car set up and I can start putting some of my rail junk on it. So I can put junctions, rail posts. I'm going to want all the tall ones right now because we're going to be using the tall rail posts for creating our rail system here. Let's grab another car. And for now, I'm just going to make the rail system going to the spot that I marked. And you'll see, we've seen it before. I was trying to make it a surprise. But you guys have seen before, like, the thing that I marked. And I'm going to grab some power extenders, too. So it's not really going to be a surprise anymore, which makes me kind of sad, but what can you do? And we might have to come back here multiple times to make more rails because we are going to be traveling long distance, so. Alright, let's unpack you. 4, we can have 2 more. Here's a car. And there's another car. So let's attach these. So for now we're going to be ignoring missions for quite a while. Like I said, I'm trying to move my base. And it's going to be quite a process to move all this stuff over there. And of course we're going to want our rail station to come with us too, because once we get to that location, we're going to want to put this down. And so yeah. So I want it so when we come into the base, I want the train to go in this way, right? And dock facing this way. And then when it leaves, I need this junction to flip so that the train can leave. And the way to do that is very simple. You just you have these like little pin spots here, and that's how you set up logistics for your train. So these pin spots, what they do is that every time the train passes through the rail, it'll activate the pin. So if we take the pin and we create a segment so that we could drag it out longer, and we attach it here, what this does is this spot specifically, if this spot gets activated with a signal, it'll change the junction so that it connects like that. So essentially what's going to happen now is that when the train goes through the rail here, it'll send a signal and it'll change the rail junction to curve this way. If it is already curved this way, then it won't do anything. Yeah. So if we attach the pin instead, to the back here, when the train would pass through here, it would change the rail junction to be like this instead. And then if you want a signal to change the rail junction to be like this, then you'd put the pin on this side. So we can see that happen. If we hop in our train here and we go forward, it'll change the rail junction. So for now, we're going to be doing an infinite loop. Of course, when you stop at a station, it docks automatically, but so we don't want it to be on that side. We want it to be on this side here, like that. And so now you can see it happen. When we pass through this rail junction, it'll switch it to now be like this instead. So that's how junctions work. Really simple. Yeah. And this pin here, the segment pin, just helps extend the reach of the logistics here. I believe you can use the segment pins for other stuff, but you can make them go really long because you can have up to 12 segments per pin, so that's a lot. And so yeah, if we come back here, because this is already hooked this way, if we go and activate this again, it does nothing because it's already hooked that way. So we're just going to leave the train there at this very moment while I set up rails. So we are going to start using the tall rails. And the idea is that we are going to head towards our beacon marker there. So the tall rails just extends the rail system up. If I made small rails all across the planet, it would get kind of annoying. I mean, they don't have collision, but it's just nice to have the tall rails because, like, once you get vehicles and stuff, you can drive underneath them, and I don't know, it just looks a little nicer. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute myself while I do this. This will take quite a bit of time. So I'm going to mute myself while I do this, and you guys just get to enjoy some rail placement, I guess. There, you guys might be able to see it in the distance there, where the base is. We ended up getting quite a fortunate spawn over here that I'm totally 100% going to be taking advantage of for the base. Of course, I mean, how could I not? We have, okay, so remember on, oh, what's the planet's name? On Calidor, there it is. Remember on Calidor, we came across this, I called it a, like a vehicle depot. Well, we have one on Silva too. And the cool thing about this vehicle depot is that it's right beside one of these obelisk things. And with this being so close to an obelisk, I'll be able to show you what the actual function of these obelisks are. And I'll be able to make use of it in my base as well. And then these vehicle depots also happen to be on one of these, like, built on top of one of these indestructible... Oh, I guess maybe it's not. Well, it comes with, like, a flat area that I can build my base out on. So, like, it already has a pretty flat area that I can build out for my base. It has one of these data chips on it, so I'm going to collect this now. It's been here since forever. And I can finally turn off this beacon too, since I've already been here. Turn off. There we go. And so yeah, we get our own vehicle depot for our base, as well as an obelisk right beside it. So we got really lucky with that kind of spawn. So I'm going to finish building out the rail here. And I'm going to place down the the rail depot as well. Is that what it's called? The rail station? The rail station. I'm pretty sure, right? Rail station. Yeah, so I'm going to put the rail station... where should I put it? Let's see. I think... Well... I have to be careful with where I want to put up the base, because... Like, the idea is that your vehicles come up here and dock here, and then they're out again. So you want your base to not be right in front or behind the vehicle depot. So I guess I'm probably going to end up putting the base, like, right here then. Which kind of stinks, but I can just cover up these holes and stuff. It's not that big of a deal. So that means I should probably have the rail station be like over here, I guess. On this side. It doesn't have to be right beside the base. And I don't think... Actually, maybe I don't set up the rail station right away. I should probably set up the entire base first, and then I can just figure out where the rail station should go. So maybe bringing that rail station with me was not the greatest idea, but yeah, so we also have the start of our rail system on Silva now too, which is good because anytime, like, eventually I'm going to start spidering off of this rail system, and like, so I can put down more junctions, and then I can splinter off and make like a web of rails across of all of Silva, which is good. That'll allow me to connect to all of these purple places, as well as basically have access to a train across all of Silva, which is important because Silva's our main planet here. I could also maybe like choose a different planet to set up our main base, but this spawn here is just so good that I want to make use of it, so that's what I'm going to do. But I don't think I want to set up the base today. I've already been recording for a little while here. I want to sort of maybe plan out stuff on my own. And I'm probably going to build it on my own too. You can see the call function. So our train is still at the old base, and you can see how long it's going to take for the train to come here because this is ticking down. But yeah, I think I want to build out this base on my own. You guys already know how to build your own base and all that stuff, so I don't need to show you. What's basically going to happen is that all the stuff that's at the base right now, I'm going to create packagers, put them in boxes, ship them over here, and place them down all over here. And I think I'm going to be doing that off screen. It might take me a couple days to do it, so... But that's good. I need to catch up on a bunch of editing for this series in particular. Like, I need to go through and watch everything. Plus, I fucked with my audio again. I tried to make things a little bit louder for this this session, because I've noticed when I'm editing, like, I have to boost the volume a ton, and it's still not enough. So, yeah. So let's head back, and yeah, so that's the plan. I'm going to be setting up my base over here. It's going to be cool. And then, yeah, I suppose the next time you see me, the base is going to be moved and all set up properly, and I'll get to give you guys a little tour. I mean, it's not going to look too much different than the base that I have now. It's just things are going to be a little bit more organized, probably. But I'm excited. I'm excited. I have stuff to do this weekend on my off time, and also I'm going to chop down that tree actually, because that's a little bit too close for my comfort. So yeah, I'll have stuff to do this weekend. On my off time, I'm playing this game. And then also, I can play this game while I edit as well. That'll be good. That'll be good. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna end the video. I might actually end up chunking these videos into sessions. So like the first session that I did will be its own video, even though like early on in this series I was cutting stuff up. I might still like keep it session wide, so essentially each of these Astroneer videos could be upwards of like 3 hours long. I hope you guys don't mind that, but I kind of want to try long form content, so you know, maybe we'll see. But yeah, anyways, whether it's the next clip or it's the next video, you guys will get to see the new base. It's gonna be cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to move all my shit. Oh man. Okay, so as you can see, our base is in shambles now. Look at all these platform bees that are completely useless to me now. It's crazy how many you use in the early game, and then as soon as you unlock the extra large platform C, these just all become completely useless. I think at some point I should come back and maybe package all these up, and then I can bring them to the shredder and get a little bit of material back out of them. And then this carbon and organic from my power setup here, but so as I've said, you cannot remove your starting shelter and landing platform. So unfortunately, this is here forever. Which, I mean, I guess it's fine because, you know, you can use your compass to find your way back here, and then, of course, once you're back here, you're able to hop on the train here. And so I've completed the loop here. Before, I only did this one here, but now that we have another loop at our other base, I've set up another thing here, so when the train comes back this way, it'll trigger a signal here, and it'll switch the platform to instead have the train, you know, come in this way. And then when the train leaves, it'll trigger this to flip it back. And unfortunately, our train's a little backwards, but that's okay. The loop fixes it. So that's fine that our train's a little bit backwards here. So let's go over to our base. We have everything set up how I want it, and I'm excited to show you guys. The terrain's going to look a little wonky. Unfortunately, that's just how it happens with base building, is that the ground's going to look weird, and you kind of just have to embrace it. There's no way you're going to get it perfectly even all the way across the base, and so that's fine, I think. Now that the base is done, I could probably take off these RTGs from the train. I just need to hook up power to the rail system, which I could do on screen for you guys here. But yeah, I've moved the rocket over and everything, and oh, I'm excited. Here it comes into view. And there it is, right there. Beautiful, isn't it? So let's go ahead and dock. So it has the same sort of deal here, right? You come in, it'll trigger this to flip the thing, and then when I go to leave, it'll trigger this, and it'll flip this to go back, and yeah. So let's take one of these. Actually, let's take these QT ones too. And the rail station, so this is what it looks like here. You have slots for whatever you want to put here. You can put like solar, you can put a large battery, you can put whatever you want here. And then if you open up this panel here, this is for like logistics and stuff. I personally haven't dabbled much into it, but eventually when I do automation and stuff, I'll have to figure out how this UI works. But essentially the idea is that the way that this station works is that the train will load up on items, and then this logistics here will be like, okay, we'll call the train in. Once it's in, you'll be able to unload items onto the platform here, and then once it's empty, using this, it'll send the train back out. And then there's even a slot here I think you could use for Actually, I should probably use my beacon. So even though we have a landing pad here and a shelter, you cannot actually see the base long distance anymore. So I am going to activate this beacon again that we have set up here. And just attach it to the back of our shelter over here. Really quickly. I can't wait to explain all this stuff to you guys too. This will be fun. Okay, so put the beacon down, let's turn it on. And it'll be colored black, I guess. Yeah. So now we know for sure we always have a way home. We just have to go towards the black beacon. And I even brought over my tractor and set it up here. So I just need to hook power up to this thing and hook power up to my trains. So let's grab our extenders. The storage is still a little bit in the process of being sorted through here, but that's fine. So something I saw... I was like watching YouTube videos while doing this. How did they do that? There's like a... You could... Hold on, let me look at the controls then. Catalog, train tool, use... Maybe? Terrain add modifier? No. So maybe I have to press F? Is that how it works? Actually. How do they do that? Huh. I don't know how... I saw someone, they were able to like drag out a cable and then press left click and it would automatically put down an extender. It's not doing that for me now though. Which is weird. Oh well, it doesn't really matter all that much. I can manually do this, that's fine. I'm also going to toggle this so that it's power in and out just in case someday I want to add more power to the system from elsewhere. Okay, the train is connected. Let me grab this. And bring it over here. I guess I could attach this to this here. And then let's also put down a power extender here so that I can connect to here. Just because I can, you know? And the cool thing is that by doing this here, if I put any QTRTGs on my vehicles and stuff, I can, the QTRTG now officially can provide power to the base by going into this system here, and it'll provide it through the cable here into the base, so yeah. I've found one use I can use for the large platform B. You could just use a large platform A for this to put the gravity globe down, but I might as well reuse the many platform Bs that I have and put the gravity globe there. So let's run over here and grab our other RTG over here. Snag that. And then I can go through and explain to you how the base works. I'm really actually kind of happy with the way this turned out. And I also got to make use of different platforms too, a little bit. I made another creative world and messed around with some design stuff. And I found out that the soil centrifuge is best on a platform like this. Which one is it called? The extra large curved platform. So the reason why this is good is because eventually I'm going to put a container on this end here, in these two slots that are here, and it'll be for holding resin, so I'll be able to, you know, put resin down, and then anytime I want to, if I ever want to do a different outcome on the soil centrifuge, I have this medium storage silo, which is unlocked from here. Medium storage silo here. And this can hold up to 24 items, which is better than these medium storages, and it takes up the same amount of space. So, um, so I unlocked that too. These medium storage silos take 2 titanium to make, so I've officially found another use for titanium. I am basically all out. I'll need to go back and get more, but that's fine. It's not like titanium's a rare resource or anything, so it's fine that I used them on these silos. So yeah, I'll eventually put a canister, like a resource canister here that'll hold all the resin that I make from the soil centrifuge, and yeah, anytime I make anything else, it'll go into the storage silo. And sort of the same idea for the furnace. Anytime I need material that needs smelting, I'll put it here, and then it'll smelt and go into the medium resource canister here. And then anytime I need to smelt anything miscellaneous, like you know how sometimes I need to smelt glass, that's what the storage silo is here for. So I'm actually kind of happy because it kind of encloses the area here a little bit. It like creates a little pincer and a little platform here, which I think looks cool. And then anytime I want to save the game, I can just pop in the shelter and hop out. So yeah, let's take a look at the power here. I went into creative and I figured out that this furnace here is able to keep up fast enough to power 4 generators at a time. Which means that the power that I have set up on Aatrox and on Glacio are kind of outdated now. I need to bring one of these extra large platform Cs, which is kind of good because it means I only need 1 flour, 1 tapper, 1 arm input, 1 smelter, and it's enough to feed 4 generators, which means from this I'm creating, 36 U's of power from just this 1 platform setup. And then of course I snuck in my little carbon extraction from this too. So not only does it keep up with the generators, it also produces a little bit of extra, which I can steal from for when I need to make plastic and stuff, which I'm going to have to make plastic here pretty soon, because I need to make some more resource canisters. And then of course, to stop all the carbon, extra carbon, from going onto the platform itself, I stuck my base battery right here. And that's the power setup, nice and simple. Nice and simple. Yeah, so then I also have combined the atmospheric condenser and the chemistry lab to 1 platform here. I'm going to probably end up putting some gas storage here and like a material storage container here on these 2 spots. So like eventually this is going to get moved. And yeah, so it condenses them down to 1 spot. And because a lot of the times for the chemistry lab, you're using the gases that you make from the atmospheric condenser, so yeah, I put them on the same spot here. On this side here is where I'm going to be putting all my important storage. Since my chemistry lab and my smelter are both right here, like this is the main resource creation machines, putting all my resource creation or storage right here is a good idea. I'm going to end up making more storage silos, and there's going to be more containers. Eventually, these 2 platforms are going to get moved too. And for now, this is just like extra miscellaneous storage on this platform, and this platform here is going to be my main miscellaneous storage because, you know, whenever I get back from a trip to space, I can offload all my stuff onto here, which I can sort out later. I've condensed my printers down to 1 thing here. I have some extra storage here, which I could, you know, I could put maybe one of these large silos on or whatever. That way, whenever I need to print like a whole bunch of the same stuff all at once, I could just throw materials on the back here and let it go. Our miscellaneous power creation I put here. Remember, we got this large solar panel and large wind turbine as rewards from missions, and instead of scrapping them, which I could do, I mean, you know, I could just... I'm not going to do that, though. You might as well just make use of them, so I put them here, and the extra batteries that we got from missions go here, too, and then my extra RTGs, which I'm probably just going to pop back onto the spaceship at some point. And yeah, so that's the base. Not a whole lot to it, but I'm sure it looks way nicer now, doesn't it? And everything is nice and sorted, and we have lots of room to breathe, and I just really like this, like, courtyard area that I've made. It's kind of fun. And then anytime I want to muck around with like designs, I'll have all this space here to put down platforms and stuff that I can muck around with and figure out. So yeah, that's the base pretty much. So now that we've moved and everything's all set up here, I am going to power on this obelisk thing here. And this should be really easy because our base that's producing power is literally right here. So we can just do something like that. Cable plug up. Put down another one because I know it's not going to reach. So remember, we've already charged one of these elsewhere on the planet. I think, oh yeah, so if we look at our compass here, usually the purple dots are just like dots. You can tell that these obelisk things are powered on because they go from being a dot to being like this triangle thing. So we've already powered on this one over here. So let's see what happens when we power on this one. And this will be also like the main reason why I wanted to build my base here after we power this on. And of course, because we have our like vehicle docking bay over here, which is cool. It's super lucky that this spawned like right beside one of these things. There we go. So now we have our second thing powered on here. If we go to this odd stone here and gaze into it, so this one is powered on, and I think this one's powered on right here. So bright nodes instead of dim nodes, they're bright nodes now. So this is the one where our base is right now, I'm pretty sure. So if we go over here to this bright node and we click on it, I got an achievement for that. So that's what the purpose of these obelisks are. You can teleport between them. So my base just became extra cool because now I have a place to teleport from. And it just so happens that my base is on the top node too, which is incredible. Like this, I cannot overstate how lucky I got with my world generation here. So yeah, our base now officially has a teleporter. So anytime I turn on these obelisks on this planet, I'll be able to teleport between them. And I'm pretty sure once I unlock the obelisk that's at the core of the planet, I'll be able to teleport down to the core as well. So yeah, just absolutely incredible the amount of luck I've gotten on this. If you're playing along with me and you're trying to like follow what I'm doing and stuff, odds are you will not get a lucky kind of place like this. However, you can still build your base beside one of these obelisks anyway. Like you don't need this you don't need to have like a vehicle docking bay right beside one of these obelisks. You can like, this is entirely useless. You can make your own vehicle docking bay in your own base. So yeah, you don't need this. It's just, it's nice that I have this, right? It's a nice little perk. And of course the floodlight that came for free with this, so yeah, that's what our base is looking like now. It's really cool. So now that I've finally moved, I could start work on maybe doing this. I mentioned digging to the core of the planet. I think that might be the next thing that I do now. I can find a spot near here that I can start digging a rail system down to the core of the planet. That way I can unlock the center of the planet and be able to teleport to it whenever I want. As well as by having a rail go down to the core of the planet, I'll be able to mine up Astronium and have the train automatically bring it back to the surface for me. So yeah. At some point I might want to set up like automatic train stuff. Right now I just put the dock over here because that's where I wanted to put the train, but maybe once I dig up all of this resin I can paint over it with some soil paint over the giant hole that I leave in the ground, and then over here could be where like all my automation happens. So like I can go set up like an extractor in the earth somewhere that automatically mines up laterite, and then I have a train go down there, collect it, come up here where it can be automatically processed over here somewhere. So that's thinking still quite a ways ahead here. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with the way that my base turned out, and I spent a lot of time playing this game today, so I'm probably going to be taking a break personally, but I'll shove this in as a clip as part of the video at some point, I'm sure. And yeah, so I think the next thing I'm going to be doing is setting up the and getting ready to dig down into the core of the planet, I think. So yay.